The photo.
No.
I'm talking about the VHB, the app.
Yeah, but I got to get my CPAP and all that stuff set up. Wait till we get back.
What are you on?
Sorry, you all. I'm helping the captain. That's why I'm on mute. Just give me a moment, okay?
JD, Jamar. I can put this right here. Put this right here. I said, I am so upset. Okay.
Hey, Leah, I'm on the phone with the captain. That's what's supposed to be up just a little bit, okay?
Okay. Just let me know when to get started.
All right, I will.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, we still got some folks still coming in a little bit, so we're gonna let them come in, and we'll probably get started around 6:05, okay?
Will do.
I must say, I will say this. I appreciate everybody being able who showed to be able to come in. I'm happy about it. Cool. And Leah, a couple questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, I have your presentation as well. Do you want to be able to present so you can control?
Yes.
Okay, understood. No problem with me on that one. All right, we got a few more people coming in. Like I said, we'll get started about 6:05. Give everybody a chance. First thing first, go ahead and I'll communicate, but I'll mute everybody. I have that ability, so I'll go ahead and start us off. Go ahead and do that. All right, so first off, I want to thank you for this opportunity for you guys sharing your time with us. We know things have kicked off with getting the steps going, getting everybody moving in their separate locations or together if they feel so they feel so inclined. We wanted to take this opportunity for you guys to be able to meet and see the faces who have been troubleshooting any and all issues over at Informative Technologies. And what we're doing a bit of a virtual support opportunity each week to give y'all an opportunity to look in and see what we may need to troubleshoot, what we need to consider, but also being able to hear from them. So right now we have Leah Walker, also the better half of James Walker over at Informative Technologies. So I want to introduce her, and thank you, Leah, for this opportunity. And I will let you go ahead and get yourself started.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So thank you all for this opportunity. My name is Leah Walker. I am, again, the better half of James Walker. He spent a lot of time working with the health department, and we were very pleased to be able to support this application. So anytime that you all submit tickets to the VHB app, you're either going to be hearing from me or you're going to be hearing from one of our interns. Our interns we also do a lot of community support. So our interns are coming from CPCC. So we are providing opportunities for these young students to get real work experience in the IT customer service field. So we appreciate your support of the endeavors that we're doing here at Informative Technologies, and we hope that you are enjoying the app so far. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you guys can take a look at this PowerPoint presentation. I was talking to Jamar earlier. I'm the type of person when I do a PowerPoint presentation that I do not like to read off of a slide. I much prefer to use the slides as a guide and then show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let me go ahead and do this sharing. And we're going to share this screen right here.
And also, Leah, I want to go ahead and say while you're doing that, just to let everybody know, we are recording this session just because we want to be able to teach back to individuals that for those who may not be able to pipe in on this first one along with the others. We just want to be able to have that opportunity for individuals to reflect back and look at some things for some questions that they may need answered but couldn't necessarily attend today. Okay.
All right. So we're just going to go ahead and get this started. So just a quick agenda. We've already gone through the introductions, and my husband is also on the call too, if y'all want to say hi to him. We'll be talking about syncing devices. So most common questions, I'm pretty going to just kind of quickly go through those. So how to sync your devices with Apple Health, Google Fit, Neo Health, Fitbit, or anything else that somebody has on their wrist. We'll also talk about troubleshooting, how to utilize the app to motivate your team as a coach, and then we'll end with some open discussions. Okay. So the first slide that we're going to talk about is got your Apple Health and your Google Fit. So I'm sure that you guys know, depending on which type of phone you are using, or even if you're connecting this with a tablet, the best way for this application to get your data is it needs to connect with either Apple Health or Google Fit. If your information does not get into either of these applications, then it will not sync with the Village Heartbeat app. The only exception is a Fitbit and the Neo Health Go fitness tracker. So for all of us other folks, so if you have an Apple Watch, then you don't have to worry because your Apple Watch is automatically going to connect to Apple Health. However, if you have Google Fit, so if you're using any other device, you just have to make sure that your device will chat with Google Fit. And once your device that you're wearing chats with Google Fit, then it is able to sync that information into the MyVHB app. Again, we want to emphasize that the Data Governance Committee has heavily vetted this information, so we're not selling any data or anything like that. This is all within our competition, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. This is just for us to, be healthy. So don't worry about any of those other things that you might hear about from other apps. This is really great process that they've got going on over here. You just want to also make sure that you have granted permission for these apps to communicate with MyVHB. And so, for example, if you were to go and look at your Apple Health and your Google Fit, you need to just make sure that it's giving you that it's giving the permissions to get that information. One of the things that I also would like to just make note of, I hear folks asking questions sometimes, and they say, well, I don't see my step information coming into MyVHB. Again, MyVHB is not made to be a duplication of Apple Health or Google Fit. All MyVHB is pulling is your steps information, your calorie information, and if you did any workouts that you entered into Apple Health or Google Fit, then MyVHB should be able to pull that information. However, if Apple Health is tracking your sleep or Google Fit is tracking how many glasses of water that you're drinking, that information most likely will not come into MyVHB. It doesn't mean that the app is not working, but it's just not permissions that we've granted VHB to pull from your data. So I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of that. And I'll also to really quickly just show you from my phone. I'll try to connect with my phone as well to this app so I can show, if I can figure out how to do it, I'll do a live screen share of my phone, and then you can kind of see what I'm looking at as well. The second thing that we have is that Neo Health Go. So a number of you all and your church members might have received that Black fitness tracker. This fitness tracker was made to sync with MyVHB. So the information that you're getting from there it's very easy, in my opinion, to sync. But there are a couple of things that you need to remember. Number one, making sure that your Bluetooth is turned on before you attempt to connect with the app. And I've actually found that it's much better if you actually turn off the Bluetooth, try to connect it with the application, and then turn on your Bluetooth. So let the application, MyVHB app, let it say, turn on your Bluetooth, and then allow it to sync. I also have learned that some folks are out here trying to connect their Neo Health fitness tracker with their tablet, and then they're also trying to connect that Neo Health with their phone. You can't do both. You have to pick one or the other. So just let your folks know that if they are having issues syncing, then they need to make sure that there are no other kind of devices chilling out in the background that they've previously connected that fitness tracker to. I'm going to stop really quickly and just see if anyone has any questions before I continue.
Yes, Leah, I noticed that Chelsea had mentioned that she said she had some of her users download Fit to Fit. I know that's probably in your presentation about how to connect your Fitbit to your VHB account.
Yes, and I'm actually happy to hear that. This was just something that I researched on my own. I personally do not have a Fitbit, so I would be really interested to hear what the user perspective is from anybody that has downloaded Fit to Fit.
Okay,
See if that is connected with the application.
Hi, this is Chelsea Wright. I have I connect mine with my Fitbit as well as my Samsung watch because I wanted to be able to help all my teammates regardless of what devices they were using.
Mm-hmm.
And so in connecting it with, so when of course we have a Fitbit watch, you download the Fit to Fit. The Fit to Fit will transfer all the information from your Fitbit over to the VHB, the virtual gym app.
That's wonderful to hear. I'm glad that that worked.
Yeah, because what it does, it transfers all your Fitbit step information, workout information, elliptical information over to the Google Fit app.
Great.
And of course, because virtual gym uses the Google Fit capabilities within the virtual gym app, it transfers over to the Google Fit, which in turn imports it into the virtual gym.
Correct. That's great. I'm happy to hear that someone was able to try that out because, again, that's just research that I found on the internet after doing some Googling. So I'm glad that that worked out. So thank you very much for sharing that. And I did write an article about it, but now that I've heard that it actually does work, we can definitely continue to recommend that. And so that's just one thing to remember.
The only thing that we'll have to do is every night, which I advise my team members to do every night before you go to bed, when you're taking your track off, you're taking it off, to hit the transfer on the Fit to Fit, because you must go into Fit to Fit every night to hit the transfer data in order for it to come over. If you don't do it, then you'll only be tracking in your Fitbit and the information will not transfer over to the Google Fit app.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, where are you finding this transfer capabilities?
So the Fit to Fit is this is only something that'll work for Android devices. So if it's an Apple Health and you want to connect your Fitbit, then you're going to have to use this link over here, this link right here to do your connection. But if you have an Android device, you can use the Fit to Fit, which will then talk to Google Fit. And then Google Fit will talk to MyVHB.
Thank you.
And what is it you said you have to do every night? I'm sorry. The Village Heart meter that's using
every night, if you are using a Fitbit watch, every night you have to go into the Fit to Fit app and select transfer. And you'll see will transfer all the data from your Fitbit over into your Google Fit app. You'll see it. It'll show it side by side. So once it's done, it'll say done, and it will show you all your numbers will have synced from your Google Fit. Your Fitbit over to your Google Fit app. It'll show it like side by side, so you can compare the numbers.
But I'm sorry, I'm not sure where you're saying you're supposed to go in to ask it to track.
Yeah, okay, so if you're using an Android phone, if you go to your Play Store where you download apps, different types of and various apps, and select and type in Fit FIT space TO space FIT and hit search, it will come up with Fit to Fit.
Okay.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
This is an article that I wrote about this. And so you must have read this article perhaps, maybe, and it'll give you the instructions.
Oh, could you send out that article?
Of course, that's something that I'm going to be talking about a little bit later, is how to utilize this knowledge base. And so I'm writing articles pretty much all day, every day. Anytime I get a ticket and someone asks a question, I'm going to research it and I'm going to write an article about it because I want to share any knowledge that I'm learning with everybody else. So,
excellent, excellent. Because I have a Fitbit and I have the app downloaded for it, and I've been doing this for months now, but I just couldn't get the MyVHB app to sync with my Fitbit. So hopefully this will work then. Thank you.
So here's the second way. The first way to connect your Fitbit is to just click this link. And so you can see when I click this link, it will allow me to click this button to connect. Now, I'm not going to do this because I do not have a Fitbit. One thing that I did note, though, is that it's easy. I've seen better success when your Fitbit account matches your MyVHB account.
Leah, what did you?
So right here in my PowerPoint presentation.
MyVHB. What did you connect? No. If you go back to the screen, what did you connect to get to the link to to that page? Account settings?
Yes, ma'am. So it's actually on account settings as well. And I've connected my phone, so I will later, I will just navigate from my phone as well. We'll do a screen sharing just from my phone in a little bit. But yes, you can do this from the actual app as well. And then you can just click this link if you're here on your phone or on your computer. So we now know that there are two ways that you can connect your Fitbit. You can try to directly connect it like here, or you can use that free app called Fit to Fit. Now, I use a Samsung watch. I have an Apple Watch as well for our Apple phone, but I also personally use my Samsung watch. I utilize another application called HealthSync, and that's the way that I get my data to sync. Unfortunately, that app does cost 99 cents to use it. So if folks don't want to pay for that, then that's completely fine. Just daily, I can go in and type in my information from Google Fit. And again, I've written articles on how to manually track your information. So you do not have to pay to use this app under any circumstances. If you, there are things that are out there that can help you sync it. If you have a Fitbit, and if you have a Samsung watch, then there's that other app that you can use. But they're just, as they say, I don't understand that saying, many ways to skin a cat. That there's different ways that you can get all of your information in with that.
Leah, question. If you are manually tracking at the end of the day, is it possible to then, let's say with the Fitbit and that app, just take the numbers off of that and then go to MyVHB to your profile? And is there a way of them just inputting what you already are achieving through your other app?
No, not necessarily. So we are just, right now, the app is the VHB app. We're looking at our steps, right? With the VHB app, what it's looking for are exercise activities. So it will import step data and it will import calorie information, which is getting from Apple Health and Google Fit. But directly in the app, there is no way to say, today I walked 5,000 steps, give me points for that. The only way to say that I walked 5,000 steps today is put it into Google Fit or Apple Health.
But then I still have to manually track it.
Well, the assumption is that you do have some type of device to track your steps for you throughout the day. So even, for example, if you don't have a Fitbit, you don't have a Garmin or a Samsung, and you weren't able to get that in your Health Go, say you just went to Walmart and you just purchased, a $50 fitness tracker there. Throughout the day, it's still going to be tracking how many steps you take. And at the end of the day, you look at it and say, oh, I had 6,000 steps today.
But I thought earlier you mentioned even with the app, you still need to, at the end of the day, do a manual tracking? Isn't that what I heard? I'm sorry. I thought that's
No,
what I heard.
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
So
All
remember,
right.
if
Let
you
me
have
download that one and then I'll take it from there. Thank you.
Leah, this is Faith Watson. I wanted to ask you, I have downloaded, or rather connected, my Fitbit to the app. However, the numbers on my Fitbit are higher than the steps on the Apple Health and what's being imported over to the MyVHB.
Okay.
So they're off.
Okay.
They're
So
synced, but the numbers are off. The steps are off.
okay. So one thing that you have to also recognize is that, and I have the same issue too, is that you'll need to make sure that your phone isn't overriding the application. So if I'm walking around with my phone, right?
Mhm.
It's counting my steps. It's basically being its own fitness tracker, right? Now I'm not carrying my phone around with me all the time. My fitness tracker I'm carrying around with me because it's attached to my wrist. So what's on my wrist is going to be higher than what I had on my phone. So what I've noticed is that if you see some type of sync issues like that, then it could be that your actual phone is overriding your Fitbit information that it's syncing over. That's an issue that I found. And so again, if you notice that type of disconnect, I don't have a way right now to override it, but you can, again, you can do that manual override if needed.
Okay, so I'm kind of confused because the Fitbit is saying hypothetically, I have 15,000 steps, but the Apple Health and the VHB is saying you only have 9,000 steps.
Now, and again, that could be a couple of reasons. Perhaps there is a possibility that Apple Health is overriding your Fitbit data.
And how do I can't, so you're saying you can't fix that now?
I cannot fix that right now. That is, I'm saying that is a possible reason why you are seeing a disconnect.
Okay.
Because it happened to me. My Google Fit was saying, it was basically overriding the information that was coming from my watch. It was noticing that, oh, I had my phone with me when I was, walking the kids around the neighborhood, right? And it only picked up 3,000 of those steps. But the rest of the day I had my watch on and I was doing all kinds of other stuff, For that day, my phone basically you get what I'm saying? It basically copied over what my watch was saying.
Okay.
So basically, we have no way of really accurately putting it in because I have the same issue as this young lady. So basically, we have no way of. It's not going to be accurate. So we will be kind of disqualified from the competition.
No, you will not. I'm going to try it. Let me figure out how to share my. I'm going to see if I can disconnect this sharing session and share my phone.
Leah, just real quick while you're working on that. Interesting enough that if we as captains are running into these issues, it becomes a little challenging then for our team members who have these same questions, then to be able to disseminate, the details to them and ensure them that things are, working properly or should be. And I'm just wondering, is there opportunity where we might be able to get the whole tribe together and be able to just talk some very high level points to ensure that this is going to work to everyone's benefit?
So, Jamar, the health department is definitely going to have the different training courses that will be having the virtual sessions live weekly, so that folks will have that opportunity to come in and ask any questions.
Yes, and what we're definitely looking to do, Pat, is trying to make sure that if we Some of the captains can attest to this, that I've been meeting with them physically to assist connecting their teams. I just know we're not able, we wanted to have something physical for people to get paired in and have something connected, but due to the restrictions from the county as far as allowing the public to come to our locations, we couldn't really do that. But what I am willing to do is try to meet, working with some of the captains, either to meet me at a unified location where I can work with them safely, of course, to connect them and their devices. So if need be, Pat, I don't have a problem working with you, as I see Clea's on the call. So I just spoke to Clea about an hour ago. I'll be working with her team to assist them in connecting as well.
Thanks, Jamar. But I guess I was really thinking of something virtual like this, whereby it's the whole community coming together. You know how we do the other sessions that we have where everybody can log in and they are celebrating, and we're celebrating the tribal, etc. That's what I was thinking of, because I'm not sure if I'm even able to get all of the team members together at one time for you to do that type of in person. But maybe we could do with you a virtual. So we'll look into that. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we can see about how we can work with that. And that I'll say this, that can go for any of you all that are having some issues. Okay.
Is everybody able to see my phone screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is my Google Fit that we're looking at right now. And you can see right here that I have turned my activity tracking off. And so that way, my steps are not being overwritten by anything that my watch sends over. So what you can do again is you can go into settings over here. I believe it's right here. So right now it's letting me know that my tracking preferences are off, but I can go in here somewhere and you can see, I can tell that I could put in that I did 5,000 steps today. You can see all of my information. I can say, well, actually that's my goal that I have right there. But I can go into my settings and I can see my tracking preferences. And you can see right here where I told it to turn it off. So it's not using my phone sensors anymore to track my metrics. So therefore, when I use my Health Sync app, when I tell it to sync here to Google Fit, everything will come over, and whatever I had when I was just marching around with my phone is not going to be overwritten. Does that make sense?
So once again,
Leah, can I say one thing?
So Leah.
One time, hold on 1 second. Who did I just hear say once again?
Oh, that was Faith.
Okay.
So Leah, what you're saying, I'm going to be very quick, is to turn the tracking sensors off in the phone so that VHB is only picking up Fitbit information.
Correct.
Okay.
Because what you don't want is for your phone to override your phone when you're walking around and holding it throughout the day. You don't want that to override what your Fitbit is sending over. Your fitness tracker is always going to be more accurate than your phone.
All right. Because that I can share with my team.
Mm-hmm. And it's quite easy to do it. Now, again, I'm more familiar with my Android phone, how to do it. I'll have to play around with my Apple phone to see how to turn off those preferences. But I know that that's an option, because some people don't want their phone just tracking everything that they're doing.
Okay. All right, I'm finished. Thank you.
Leah, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm using Fitbit.
Okay.
And what I did was I went in and went to third-party app and allowed MyVHB to be able to read the data from Fitbit.
Yes, there are a couple of applications that I know of that it will use as a third-party app. The ones that I'm aware of are Strava which I put on here in my, in fact, let me just stop sharing here. I can figure that out. Stop right here. Okay. So I know that there's the Strava app, and I think that MyVHB is also a third-party app that you could use.
Okay, because after that, I didn't have to do anything extra. And I noticed that I did get the readout from my Village Heartbeat of my status from last week.
Oh, that's perfect then.
Leah, I'm sorry, Leah, this is Chelsea again. I have my Samsung watch as well, and I use my Samsung watch to connect with the virtual gym app directly through Google Fit without using the Health Sync, because the Health Sync did charge.
Okay.
I'm going to find those instructions and send them to you, because I have the active Samsung Active 2 watch that I use to connect directly and bypass having to go through the Health Sync app. And also, I wanted to say that there is a way. I know someone asked, was there a way to put in your information manually? But you can do it. You can't do it from the app. You have to log into the computer with your user information and click on your calendar, your activity calendar, and you can log in information, because there's a plus sign that says add activity where you can put it in manually.
Where is that again?
Okay, if you log into your virtual heartbeat website,
which I'm on right now. Can you all see my screen?
Let me look at your screen.
Okay, yes, you can see my screen.
Okay. So, okay, for you are in your professional profile. Click where your picture is and change that to switch to personal. Yeah. Okay, so this is where everybody else sees. So where you will go to the left-hand side of your screen and click on activity calendar, all the way up, go up with your mouse. Click on that. It shows you your footprints and everything you've done. On the right-hand side is where you can add an activity. Yes, it's your step.
Okay. So I know that you can also do the same thing through the app, but from what I'm understanding is that I can just add just walking, and I have only been able to put in just the distance that I walked and the calories that I burned. I have not found a place to put your actual steps. So.
Okay, I'm driving. I'm gonna play around with it because I got my computer with me, because I did it the other day.
Okay. Well, if you find out, let me know, because again, that was definitely something that I would love to add to the process.
Leah, if you can hear me, just search for the activity called steps.
Okay.
So cancel that, please. Steps. And because I noticed it on the you see it right there on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'll say is
my track activities, I believe.
What I'll say is this: this the CEO of Informative. What I'm doing is observing and watching the ideas that are flowing here and the challenges that you guys have run into, and we are looking at how to work with those creators of those other apps that are on the app stores to work behind the scenes and get that functionality to be built in. This is a pilot, and what we are trying to do is to see these things before we expand to thousands of people. But what I'm finding is there are solutions out there. We can implement those solutions so that we can have all of this functionality inside of our app, or have one app that we would have as a companion to talk to everything. And I hear you, Ms. Bertha Alvin, about how do you get all devices. As you can kind of see, even though you might have your own wearable, these companies like Fitbit and Apple are really territorial. And what we're really doing is, this is why a lot of our people don't have these devices. They if the Fitbit stops working, you know, they want you to buy another Fitbit. They have a lot of control over that. They don't want you to talk to another app. They don't want you to share with your own app. We're going to break down those walls technologically. So, and I'll be helping her with finding what we can do as a bandage right now. The bandage of all bandages is, of course, just typing in the data. We know that that's not ideal, but do know that that's not going to stay that way. For pilot mode, just to make sure you're getting your steps recorded, or at least the duration of time that you're doing things. If you don't have any other way of getting it to work, at least you would have a fitness band telling you the steps or the distance or the time that you went walking, and to type that in. But we also have other companion apps. I'm working with the developer of HealthSync right now, actually, who's saying, hey, look, I would really like to work with you. I can kind of maybe find a way to create a free model, because this is a nonprofit initiative. So we can take that paywall off. So we're actively looking at ways, you know, on the technology side to make it simpler. So do know, as it might be moderately frustrating to do, it is something that you've helped us discover, and this is why we're doing this pilot. So your voices really are going to influence how we continue to improve this over the next 6 weeks. Thank you for your honesty and your patience as we walk through this.
Yes, and I like to reiterate that, you know, the whole concept of the village is everybody is helping out everyone. And so I very, very much appreciate, you know, y'all being patient and then just sharing your feedback with things that you've tested or that you figured out, because we're all learning together. So it's very much appreciated.
Excuse me if I might speak, if I may speak. This is Reverend Stinson. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'm not really like a computer person. So what I need is step-by-step instruction. This step, go to the next step. I need it to be very simplified, so that I will be able to get everybody else in on it. So I need simplicity.
Okay, so that leads us to the next slide, is how to get help quickly. I mentioned earlier that I'm always writing articles, pretty much almost every day. You're going to see a new article for me. As I'm going through the tickets, I will notice, you know, somebody asks a question, and I'll create a solution, and I'll make a documentation of it. So say, for example, I even created just a getting started guide. So you can type in getting started with the MyVHB application, and you can see that I created this beautiful PowerPoint, just like this, but I downloaded it into a PDF version. So this, again, tells you activate your membership, and these are screenshots from my Apple phone, or sometimes you'll see it coming from my Google phone, and it'll show you, you know, what you're looking for. I would like to just make a point that if folks are still having issues with registering, I think as of today, we had about 100. I'll have to take a look and see exactly how many people are still outstanding. But let's see, we are at 175 people that still need to register. So we're doing good. We've got almost 60% of everybody that's enrolled have actually activated their accounts. So we're doing really good with that.
If I may jump in for a second, what are tickets?
So that goes in here to the support side again. So if somebody has a question, you can go directly here to the Village Heartbeat app. Just go right here to support.myvhb.org. This is completely separate from the myvhb.virtualgym.com app. This is another system that we're using just to track our tickets, just so we can keep everything separate, so we can have idea of what are our most frequently asked questions, and to quickly share information.
Okay, so questions or tickets?
Questions are tickets. So we would prefer that you not call Mr. Jamar or call Leah directly, because I will often call you back and I'll just do a FaceTime with you if I need to help clarify some questions. But everything we really need it to come through a ticket. Okay. You do not have to create an account with support.myvhb.org. You do not have to create an account. Nobody wants to create another account with another username and password to remember. All you have to do is just send an email to support@myvhb.org. And that will automatically create a ticket for us, and then we will get back to you.
Leah, and I will attest that today, in fact, I sent an email, which is to me like a very expeditious way of doing it. I sent an email as opposed to going to the website, and immediately I did get back confirmation of my email with a ticket number, and then shortly after that I did get your response. So for those that are testing it or a little apprehensive about it, it certainly works, and if email is easy for you, it worked for me. So thank you, Leah, and your team.
Oh, you're welcome. And 9 times out of 10, it will be me that responds to your tickets. I'm working normally throughout the day and sometimes through the evening as well. We do have our interns that will answer some tickets as well. So just you'll see us, and a lot of times with our tickets, a lot of these are frequently asked questions, and so we will just insert an article with all of the steps that you need to do to solve your problem.
Leah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have another question.
Yes,
on
ma'am.
the leaderboard under manage group members, 3 of my members have under their rank, it says requested group membership.
Okay.
How do I change that to a member? Because the other ones say member.
Well, look at there. That's our next slide that we're going to be talking about.
Okay.
So how to utilize the app to be the best coach. So let's walk through those steps right now. And I just included a screenshot really quickly, but I'm going to actually walk through this one by one. So all of you all here that are here on this call, you guys are coaches. So you all have the ability to go in and look at all of your team members, and then you have the ability to manage them. So just give you a preview. I'm going to teach you about adding members and things like that in just a second. So if you have that question, we'll get to it. Okay. All right. So what we will do is we're just going to, I'm just letting you guys read this really quickly, but we're going to start using just a live member view of it. So I'm here underneath my professional account. Everybody should have a professional account that they can flip back and forth to. So when you're under the professional side, you go here to clients and staff. And the best thing to do is change the status from active to active with tag. Which church do we want to use? Let's pick somebody, put their church name out there.
The Park Church.
Okay, so we're going to see everybody that's under the Park Church. Okay, now a couple of things is you could see that the first numbers of people that are here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll see 6 members that are assigned to the Park Church have actually activated. And even I could see when the last time that they were actually on the app. So if you wanted to check in there, Miss Faith, whoever's the coach is Miss Faith, you would say, call to Miss Cecilia. Say, hey, Miss Cecilia, I noticed that you haven't been on since the 23rd. Is everything okay? Do you need help with anything? That's just, you being a coach, just checking in, making sure that everything is okay and that they didn't get frustrated and throw the app across the room or anything. Now, I can also see here that Miss Kathy and Miss Belinda have been invited. That means that they have not yet activated. So you might want to reach out to Miss Kathy and Miss Belinda and ask them the same question. Hey, are you having issues with it? What's going on? Well, Miss Kathy says, oh, well, I never got that email. Miss Kathy, what's your email address? Well, my email address is conyers406@gmail.com. Oh, no, Miss Kathy. your email address is incorrect. You never got that invitation. So if that's the case, then all I need you to do is just send us an email and we will go ahead and we'll change, just send us an email. So it'll create a ticket. We can send, update this email address for Miss Kathy, and then we can send her out a new invitation. Okay.
Okay.
So this is something that you are empowered to do as a coach. What we do ask for you to do is to not just go around and poking around the system, just utilize it for what I've told you to utilize it for. So if you just want to go in and look at the folks that are in your team, then you can do it like that. Now you'll note.
So we wouldn't be able to resend that invite ourselves?
So if Miss Kathy says, oh, my email address is correct, then yes, you can resend the information. What I do not want you all to do is to click over here and edit details, because we don't want anything to get messed up in the background.
Okay.
So we just ask that if there's any type of administrative thing beyond resending an invitation, to just reach out to the team and create a ticket, so that our back-end team will take care of it for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Excuse me, Leah. So
yes,
I'm sorry. Are you saying that we all are supposed to have this other type of profile besides our main profile, but we're supposed to have a profile with the church? Because if so, I asked for permission to join my church, but I haven't gotten anything back. So
we're getting there. We're getting to that point.
I just want to make sure.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to follow you as you're doing this, and I'm like, I'm not seeing the same things you're seeing. So
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, my team has been working all day. My interns have been working all day to get everybody converted over to the coaching profiles. So again, if you are noticing that you don't have this access to clients and staff, then send me a ticket and I'll make sure that's taken care of. It doesn't take me that long, but my boys are in here all throughout the day going through and checking data and stuff. So if one was missed, we apologize. Just send us an email and we'll get you flipped over to the credentials that you need. Okay, so just make sure, I want to just point this thing out really quickly, that I've had a couple of questions where coaches are saying, well, I don't see myself under the Park Church. The reason why is because you are coaches, you're underneath the staff. So if I were to go in and type in Miss Faith, I would see her here.
Okay.
On the staff side. And I see that Miss Faith was last in here, like right now. See?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now let's go to the other section. Everybody has the questions about your group members.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's show you again. See my next screen. We want to be utilizing these groups to motivate your team without sending blast messages out to every single villager. Okay, so we have about 400 and I don't know, it's actually about 503 folks that are registered to use the application. So perhaps you don't want to send a message to all 500 folks. You just want to send it to the people that are in your church. Here's how you're going to do that. The first thing that you're going to do is always start here at the top of the screen, and that gets you out of the clients and staff module, and it gets you more to like the community side. So all I need to do is go over here to groups and then find my group. So here's the Park Church. We have two different things that we can do. The first thing is that you want to manage your group members. Okay. So here's the answer to your question, or somebody had questions. They said that they had requested group membership. Right. All you have to do is just go here, change them to a member, and then click that good old floppy disk that the kids don't know.
Okay. So that's the save button. All right.
That's the save button. Our kids don't know what this really means. What is that little square thing? But we know what it is. So all you have to do is just click to member. And you see when I click save, now there's a little check mark letting me know that my request was done.
Okay.
Leah,
Okay.
what if you don't have community? I don't have that. I'm following you along and I'm signed in.
What's your name again?
Michelle Rambert.
Oh, I talked to you today.
Yep, you did. I'll talk the phone links. Yeah, I don't have.
So first we're gonna just check and make sure that you have your permissions. What's your church name? Miss Rainbird, hello?
Say it again.
I was just saying, what was your church name?
Oh, Little Rock.
Okay, so let's see who's in here. Well, you are the group owner, so you should be able to see and manage your group. So I'll have to take a look at that separately.
Yeah, under engage, I don't have anything. It's like those two fields are blank, and then it goes to marketplace, mobile apps, and some other things listed.
Okay. I'll work with you separately.
Leah, the vision that you're showing right now, is this on a laptop?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I don't see it on my phone. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I find that this works best. I have not tested this out on my phone. I've only used my laptop for these.
Okay.
Now, I assume that if you were to go to myvhb.virtualgym.com, like on your phone, like using your Chrome browser or your whatever Siri browser is, it's called Safari, there it is. You could probably do it there. I just imagine that it'll be a little cumbersome because of, this isn't formatted for a mobile screen. It's formatted for a laptop.
Okay, so now when you were looking, this is Elizabeth Lutz from Myers Tabernacle. When you had the names of people that were members or whatever, Myers Tabernacle, I see you typing. I don't think I had anything beside my name. It does say group owner on this page, doesn't it? Okay,
yes,
so maybe, yeah. So Albacore is going to be Sandra. So it's Sandra and myself who are the team leads or whatever. But I didn't see anything, so I don't have all this information either.
Okay, so again, if you guys are logging in, just make sure that you're under your professional account and not your personal account.
And I didn't know there was a difference until this.
Okay, so let's say, I'm pretty sure that not all of your folks are here. And by the end of the night, we're going to be changing some permissions too. So right now, all of the groups are set to private. And what we made a decision today is that we're going to make the groups public, so it's a little bit easier for folks to join their groups. But again, once you're a part of a group, it's kind of like in Facebook. You can be in a public group or you can be in a private group. Anybody can find a public group. Anybody can kind of, but if you post something to that public group, only the people that are in the group will be able to receive those messages, right? It's not going out to all 500 people. It's just going to the 10 people that you want to see it. So as of right now, though, let's say that you wanted to go in and add another member. Do you happen to know of somebody that needs to be added to your group?
Added or invited? I think they're all in. I don't think they've all accepted yet, but I think they're in there.
Okay, so
but like I said, I didn't know that there was a professional thing, so I didn't know that I could go and look and see. Okay, let's see.
Okay, so what are we going to do first? We're going to change here to active with tag, and then we're going to look for Myers Tabernacle. Okay. So you are correct. The only other person that's here is Elizabeth. The rest of your folks nobody else is joined.
Okay, so I know that I thought I saw Sandra had tried to join. Sandra Pickens, she had tried to get in because I'm Elizabeth Lutz.
Okay.
Okay, so I know that I had saw, because Sandra and I, like I said, we're the team leads.
Okay, but remember that you're going to be here on the staff side.
I'm sorry, say again?
So if Sandra is a captain, that means that she's also a coach, and that means that she's going to be here on the staff side.
Okay, so she and I should be on the staff side.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the checks mean that everybody else has, no, they're just invited. They haven't, Miss Collins has, Gail has, and then they're, oh my goodness. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And so now here's the deal. Now let's assume that Miss Nikita had already joined. You cannot add someone, you cannot invite anyone, nor can you add anyone until they have registered their account. So
okay.
Yours is not I can't, I have to pick someone else's church to see if I can add them into their personal group. I can't use anyone because the folks that are already activated are in there. I've had my interns go in and try to check some churches and see if they could add folks, you know, manually. So some of these groups, some of the churches will already have their members added to them and some may not. So I just have my interns working in the background on that. But I just wanted to give you all the resources and tools to be able to do some of this on your own in the back if you haven't seen that my interns have gotten to it yet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Leah, another question. If a person is on your group, but you can't, but their name is not showing up when you put them under the client overview.
Okay, so then we will start from the beginning. I've had that happen before. So you can search through a lot of different things. So you can see I've looked for Miss First Lady Ferguson's email address. I can search by email address. I can search by last name, first name, any type of combination of that. You can use that as a search field. I also just recommend that you guys are looking in the clients in the staff side as well before you say, oh my gosh, this person's not there. Now, if they genuinely aren't there, then number one, verify that they were actually a part of the pilot. Because I've had a couple of emails where people were like, well, I can't register. And they never completed the assessment. So I can't have you added in here if you didn't do that initial assessment. So we can't just go in and start adding all of our church members. We can't do that. Only the folks that had completed the assessment by the time that the health department had allowed it to be open for registration.
Right, but this person registered and they were there 2 days ago. Now I don't see their name today.
Okay, what's the person?
First name Jackie.
Spell it, please.
Oh, Jackie.
Okay.
Last name Warren.
Okay, so this person isn't on the list.
Right. That's why I'm saying they were there.
Okay. Send me a ticket with the information and I'll have to look in the back end and see what's going on with it.
Okay. Okay. No
I'm
problem.
sorry. And when you say send a ticket, I heard you earlier and I've been trying to go to it. Where it says submit a ticket and it tells you to log in, but it's not recognizing your login when you're trying to do a ticket. What does that mean? And
so again, right. So remember that I said that this is not connected to the ticket system. So if you wanted to create a new username and passwords, you can do that. But I mean, the easiest way is to send an email, just support@myvhb.org. That is the easiest way, is to send an email with your question.
Say it one more time, support at what?
myvhb.org.
Thank you.
So you can create a ticket here, sign up, make yourself a new username and password. You would create an account. Remember, it is not connected to this at all. It's a whole separate system. So if you do not want to go through that rigmarole, then you can just send an email to support@myvhb.org.
So Leah, this is Cheryl. So when I looked at the data earlier that James submitted, he said about 175 people have been invited that had not signed on, that had been invited when I looked at the data earlier. So when I looked just now at Maya's Tabernacle Church, the majority of them have been invited, but they haven't accepted it. So one of my recommendations now would be is to purge that data and find those churches that have as many of those individuals similar to Maya's Tabernacle. What that tells me that their members are struggling some kind of way of what to do next. So if you have Maya's Tabernacle where they only got their 3 people or their 2 people, which are their captains, on board, but it looks like they've gotten an invite. And then when you look at other churches, they at least had some members. So my question now is, there are several churches that's lingering out there. If you have 175 that's been invited as of today, and they have not signed on, I would like to know who those churches are. And I think if you're going to prioritize, that's where the education now needs to occur. And you may need to be able to pull like 3 or 4 teams together. I heard, I can't remember which captain that came on earlier, but I heard her very loudly and clear. She needs step by step. And so sometimes we may make the assumption that everybody has the literacy that they need at this point to come on. And I'm not the best myself sometimes either with new apps. So I feel them and I hear them. So I think if you're going to get that number up, that may be what we need to do now, because there may be some assumption, even though we're doing articles, there may be something that my captains may not always verbally say, that there may be some digital literacy that they may not completely understand, having to do it on their own. But if you can do it in a smaller group setting, those teams that have only 1 or 2 people signed up, pull them together or let me see the list who they are. I would be most appreciative. Do you follow what I'm asking?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay.
And I think it's a great idea as well. I think that was what the purpose of the health department offering in us with the formative technologies is offering these weekly health sessions. Again, I want to emphasize that if folks are having problems, the first thing is you have to register. You have to go and hunt down that email. And that email is in your, if it's not in your mailbox, your inbox, then it's going to be in your spam. And that email is coming from the Mecklenburg Health Department. It's not coming from Virtual Gym. It's not coming from MyVHB. It is coming from.
Right. And I think the good news is that you do got captains that are very, very versatile, that understand technology. I think you got some ambassadors now. But if the captains that you currently have on tonight, just like Maya's Tabernacle, they knew they were in there, but I don't think they had a clue that they didn't really have any members that officially had actually did the registration that they needed to come up. So that's what I'm saying. They need to know now who their teams are or where the struggle is.
Okay. So
take it by step, so they don't get inundated. That's all I'm saying.
And Leah,
yes,
for people who are trying to register their team members, the links aren't live anymore, because I was one of those captains who thought that my registration was for the team.
I see. No, everybody has to register for themselves. Okay. So if that's the case, then send one email and say, please resend the registration links for these people. And then my team will take care of that.
And send that to support at myvhb.org.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Leah.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Phyllis Howard. I'm at the Heights Ministries, but Peggy Moody is our captain right now, but she's stepping down and I'm going to be taking over. So what do she need to do?
Send an email and let me know who the new captain is for the church so I can make sure that information is in.
Okay, and I think, I'm not sure, but I don't think our members have registered, several of them, because I didn't know how to register myself.
Okay.
I mean, I registered, but I didn't know how to get into my VHB.
I was about to say, Leah, I can interject on that one. I do believe that you can give a search just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I thought I saw Phyllis in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought I saw Phyllis Howard in there. There we go. Yeah. So it's just about looking like we'll have to just, first off, you'll have to create your account. Is that what it looks like, Leah?
Well,
She was
I mean,
invited.
if Miss Phillips didn't get the email, then I'll have to basically force the system to send out another invitation.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, and Phyllis, I've been working with Peggy. We're gonna, I'll be working with Peggy on the side to get you and your team taken care of as well.
Okay.
So is Miss Phyllis supposed to be the captain now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we'll be meeting with you on Friday, won't we, Jamal?
You're right.
Okay.
Yep, you're right.
Okay.
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 Thank you for that, Leah.
All right. So now, Miss Phyllis, you now have a professional account.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point, you know, we're open for questions. If anybody has any questions.
I have one more, Leah. So I did ask a question earlier about the teams that May was struggling. I would also learn if it's accessible data that can show the teams that got the majority of the people that they have recruited. Who are those teams as well? Which teams got it really well? Which captains got it really well in terms of having all their people in? Is there any way you could run that data too? If you can't, don't worry about it. But that would be great to know, because what that means too, it's just the value that we still have within the network, and the beauty that I keep saying, when one gets it well, maybe Chelsea or somebody can reach over to another team as well and help.
Okay.
So,
hi Carol, this is Chelsea. What I've been doing is I've been going to our seniors who have having trouble and just doing a one-on-one with them. I know it takes time, but I feel like it helps them and help them with getting through the initial registration and showing them how to just do a simple, how to at least get into the VHB burn, so everyone can at least have that, be able to do that successfully. So that's what I've been doing. That's how I was able to get everyone on my team on. I set up a time, I asked who needed help. Those who needed help, I set up a time with them to go and be one-on-one with them.
Well, you're awesome anyway as a captain, but I'm just saying it would be great to understand where the strength is. And that's the beauty of the model, is that there are so many of them that's gifted and they get it really quick. And it's good to know that, but it's also understanding that there are extra arms inside the network that can help expedite if there's a lot of restraint on the administrative staff and team, that maybe there's a way that we can also ask within the village with those captains that have already got their teams on board. So that's just a good way for me, again, being able to recognize where the strength is as well in the network. I value that wholeheartedly.
Okay.
And Leah, I also found to connect your Samsung watch directly to the VHB app, you have to go through Samsung Health.
Okay.
And it will connect and calculate your steps instead of having to use the Health Sync and pay for that.
Okay. I'm definitely going to try that out. Any other questions? Suggestions, comments?
Oh, yes, I was going to ask. That's what I've been meaning to ask that for.
Leah.
Yes.
One question. I was in my
for them. I have to show them how.
Right.
I'll show you on my phone.
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble understanding. Some folks
Oh.
may need to be on mute.
Yes,
Yeah.
can everyone that's not speaking please put your phone on mute? Thank you.
Leah, this is Lee from Ozion. My question, to get into what's on your screen now with the client and staff, okay, is that in the app? Because I was in the app, but I don't know exactly where to go to get to what I'm seeing on your screen now to show.
It's not on the app. You'll definitely need to do this on a computer, or if you have to use your phone, then you'll need to use your browser. So either Safari or Chrome.
Okay.
To support myvhb.virtualgym.com. You can log in there. Just know that it will require they call two-factor identification. So it's going to require you to enter in a code, and that's just trying to make sure that you're not a robot. And it will time you out. So if it times you out after about 20 minutes of inactivity, just know that you're going to have to re-log in.
Got it. Okay, got it.
Leah, show her how to toggle between them, though you haven't shown this step.
So right now I'm on my professional, and now I can switch to my personal.
Do it slower because there's like a 1 second
there's a delay.
delay.
Okay, I apologize.
Like just say what you're doing, please, in the corner, and then click and describe. Because about 5 people have asked that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm not monitoring the chat, so y'all just let me know if I've missed a question. Okay. So right now I'm on my personal account, and so this is just all of this. If I go over here to my activity calendar, you'll probably see my steps and things that have been sinking in. But if I want to go and do anything, then I need to switch to my professional account. And that's when I'm able to go and see clients and staff. That's when I'm able to go in and see other things like that.
Can I ask you a question while you're at that?
Of course.
That's the coach side when you say personal, or is that different?
Yes, the professional side is the coach side.
Okay. Well, I have to watch the chat. You can disregard that chat question.
Leah, this is Faith again from the park. So, although I couldn't find that person's name, right? Say I find her name and I want to add her back to my group because she's already active. How would I do that? Because we never went through that. Like she's active with a profile. How would I add her back onto the parks group? She's not showing up, but she's showing up under the client overview.
What was her name again?
Okay, it's Jacqueline, Jacqueline. And her last name is Warren. There she goes.
Okay.
All right. So she's showing up there, but she's not showing up in the group.
Which group?
The park church. Like when I go on the list of everybody, remember we were hitting the save buttons?
Okay.
She's not showing up there.
Okay, so let's do that one more time. So we're going to look for Warren. This is one thing. I'm glad that you said this. If you want to invite someone to your group, you cannot, it's difficult. It's for some reason, it's more difficult to search by their name. It is easier to search by their user profile or their email address. So I suggest that you have this window open where you can copy and paste either her email address. So then I would go over here to my other page where now I can go in here to group. I'm going to go here and type the park church. And now I'm just going to go ahead and manually add her in.
Oh, I can't. Oh God, this thing is in the middle. Can you, you added her there. Okay.
And so now that I pasted her information, you see that she pops up. Oh, and she's online right now.
She's probably listening.
And so all I need to do now is click add clients. And now she's in the group.
Okay.
So I go here to manage group members. You'll see her that now she's there.
Okay, so now she's there. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. James, are there any other questions that I missed in the chat?
Okay.
There is one, and then someone has a hand up. Renee says she wants to know if any members from Life Changing Church are signed up or activated.
Okay.
Life Changing. So again, when you're clicking, just so because there again the screen will show you one thing per second, so you have to kind of explain what you're doing so that they know how to do this, and you have to say what you're clicking on, so it's easier.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. So what I'll do is I'm going here to my clients and staff. I'm changing my status to active with tag. Ending the church. Life Changing Church. And now I can see that of that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. And we have the rest of the folks of the 8, so 10, because there's a total of 18 with this church.
Okay.
And I can tell that my interns must have seen 2 different churches, 2 different captains. So some people are assigned to Dennis, and the other folks are assigned to Renee.
Okay. This is Renee, and I apologize. Can you show me how to get to this website? I know you've done it. I can work this system myself. I just need to get to the website.
Yes, ma'am.
That you're on.
So it's just myvhb.virtuagym.com.
I just pasted it.
Okay, thank you. And of course, when you first log in,
right,
it's gonna be your same credentials that you use to log into the app on your phone.
Okay, when I get to password, is it these letters here?
No, ma'am. Let me see if I can log off so I can just show you all.
Okay.
Okay. So now my computer already knows my password because I forgot it. So I told it to save it. But I would type in my password here. This is where I'm going to put in the confirmation code. And this confirmation code is going to change. This is what they call 2-factor sign in. So it just makes sure that you're not a robot, because a robot wouldn't be able to read that. And then once I click log in, now I'm in.
And you might again point out how you know you're in the professional versus the personal, and what the difference is.
So over here in the right, the top right, you'll see that I'm on my professional account.
Okay.
But if I want to, I can change myself to the personal account.
Okay.
And now that I'm the personal account, you see that the clients and staff, all of that stuff disappeared.
Okay.
May I add that that's what average people who are quote unquote clients are what we call just villagers, village Harvey participants, people who are not a leader of anything. This is what they would see. So posting stuff, having your chats and whatnot, versus organizational things that you're doing as a team captain. That's why they're split profiles. Just clarify that. By the way, also Leah, you can resize your browser and squeeze it into the form factor of a phone, and it will show what it looks like on a phone.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a quick question. Can you tell us or show us how to add challenges for our churches?
I actually have not played with that yet.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I know when I called for assistance, they told me to go to challenges. Go to challenges, and then it should supposed to have, beside add a challenge, new club challenge, and it's not there on our system. That's for individuals. So that's if you want to do a challenge personally for yourself. But beside, if you go back one screen, beside it said where add a challenge for as a captain, it should have said new club challenges right there in that space between the flags and the word club challenge.
You need to be professional, right? Because that way, this is something that other people would be able to see, not just for yourself. And let's see here, add a challenge. Just go ahead.
And so that way won't work for that way will not work for a group, for the club, like for your church, if you're trying to get your church members to do a challenge.
And
so I received the email that showed the actual screenshot of it where it would say new club challenge. So you go to challenges.
Okay.
And then when you go to challenges, right beside add a challenge, there is supposed to be new club challenge right beside it to the right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not a coach, so it could be that might be the reason why I don't see that.
Okay, because she said that when I called them, they said something had to be activated with you guys.
Okay.
And I can see you if you need to. I can forward you the email.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it on mine. So if you do have the email, you can just send that to support at myvhb.org.
Okay.
Ma'am, but I see it under my.
That's where I got the information from support.
Yeah, I see the same. I see the. So you're saying you don't see new club challenge.
Exactly. I don't see new club challenge when I log into my browser when I pull it up. What she saw when she pulled up my profile is the exact same thing that I see. It just says add challenge, but it does not say new club challenge under my professional profile.
Okay. I'll just I'll take a look at my side in the background of Leah taking the next issue here. I'm taking a look at it myself.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
I do. This is Amelia from Greater Salem. When you were under the clients and staff, and it was showing the different churches, and where you click on the churches and you can see who all the team members are. Our church was not on there.
What is the name of your church?
Greater Salem.
There it is. It's Greater Salem Church right there.
That says Greater Mount Sinai. Oh, it didn't show up on mine. When I'm looking at it, it's not showing up.
So just make sure you're under the client side and not the staff side.
Client. Okay, let me see. Let me try it now. I think the tag. Okay, now it's on. Okay, I was in something different, I guess. Okay.
Yes. So again, make sure that you're on the client side and not the staff side.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question I asked earlier. This is Michelle with Little Rock.
Yes.
Initially, you said that it will track steps, calories. I thought you said activities and maybe one other thing.
Yes, you can add activities and it should send over information. Not should, it may send over activities from your watch or your fitness tracker.
Okay. So I know this is a step challenge. What if people can't step, but they brought a bicycle? Are we accommodating that? That's
Yes.
a question, I think, or Jamar.
No, you can definitely add that activity. So you would go here. So I switched back to my personal account. And now I'm going over here to my activity calendar. And now I'm going to add an activity for today.
Okay, I would have to tell a team member to add cycling. And
you can type it in. So cycling. I don't know. Cycle. Let's see. You can just go through and see what is it, virtual cycling or mountain biking. So let's say I went mountain biking. How long did I do that? I went for 3 hours.
So if it's on their device, it will come over, or they have to actually add it here.
If they have a fitness tracker or more of a smartwatch where you say, "Hey, I'm about to go on a bike run," and it saves that. Fitbit can do that. Samsung Watch, a lot of them can do that. Then it will upload that activity. The calories that you burned will be uploaded and synced. Otherwise, you can do it like we're doing here by duration. Just what kind of biking are you doing? And then just pick how many minutes you did it.
And your distance.
And mind you, it's much easier on the app to do this. If you go, if you're on the app, it's at the bottom of the MyVHB app on your phone screen. The homepage has those tiles that let you click to see challenges or the community chat. On the bottom, you'll see little white icons. The next icon, the second icon, is the calendar and has a big fat blue plus sign. Here you go. And you just add and search right there. So you could just do it with your thumb in 2 seconds. So you're looking at it right now on the screen. And just press the log activity and you'll search what you're doing or the code. And it'll do it it'll try to remember what you've done in the past, so you don't even have to click around that much in the future. And you just adjust as you see on the screen.
Okay, so how will that be? I don't know if it could be equivalent to steps. How would that be?
So that's a question I guess you could for Keith or for Ms. Cheryl. Ultimately, it's about the calories you're burning. But steps is a baseline.
I mean, you would be able to record the activity, but it wouldn't count towards the steps.
Oh, okay. I'll let her know, but I know there's going to be some disappointment. But I know I've told them up front it's a step challenge, but we're just glad that she's moving. But okay.
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 And did you notice that when I changed this, I'm wondering if it'll automatically say if I change it to like 30 miles, if that's going to change my calories. I think it gave like a baseline of the amount of calories that it assumes based upon my height and my weight, how many calories it thinks that I would burn if I rode 30 miles. But my watch would tell me how many calories that would be. So let's say that's 1,000 or 18. Ooh, that would be great. 1,800 calories. And then I could just go through and save that information like that. So now that's there on my calendar.
All right. Well, I didn't know if this was toward the tail end. I didn't want to interrupt because I know we had so many burning questions, but I see the chat There's a little light and I don't see any hands. So again, this is the first of many sessions that we'll be having throughout this opportunity, this challenge here. Oh, hold on. I do see Lee has a hand up. So Lee, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry at the last minute. Another question. Well, two questions. One, the whole time you were talking, I did my VHB virtual gym. I did all that. I saw my team, and I saw none of my people, except maybe one, but I know she have it, but it doesn't show on the virtual gym the invites. So, and then so I need to figure out figure out how to resend my entire team their invite. I don't know what happened, why they hadn't. I know two have downloaded the app, but not the virtual gym. So
Well,
I need to figure out what I need to do with that. Even if it's a sidebar, keep, I don't want to hold anybody on the phone. If it's a
well,
sidebar,
just remember that virtual gym is the MyVHB app. It's one and the same. So when you type in for MyVHB, that's the app.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'll contact them individually and find out what's going on. There's one person that's missing. I think I had sent Jamar an email, Patricia Robinson. So I need to add her. That was all one question. My second question. Now, all of the is there a way to turn off the notifications from seeing what everybody is saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So you all can see here. I'm on my phone. I'm sharing my phone screen right now. So all I have to do is go over here to settings and then device. Oh, no, I clicked the wrong one. It is notifications. And I could just say, turn it off. And there you go. I'm not getting anything else. I actually like getting the notifications. So I'm going to turn it back on.
Okay. Because I do want one person. Now they come to my junk file, so it's not directly into my email, but another person, it comes directly into their email along with their work stuff. So that was a question she had asked me, so I wanted to find out. Okay, great.
And again, this is all in that support.myvhb.org knowledge base. So I just want to emphasize that, if you got any questions, a lot of times, again, I write an article pretty much every day that might have already answered your question.
MyVHB.org. Okay. Yes. Okay. The main.
Leah, if you have that article, if you have that knowledge base link on hand, if you could drop that in the chat, that may serve a little bit of assistance for those folks to be able to kind of tag that, favorite that, so they can at least be able to have something of reference to go to. And sorry, Phyllis, I didn't mean to lower your hand. I know you had a question as well.
Yeah. Some Reverend Sandra wanted to know, would she be able to get a PowerPoint so they could go through it before we meet with Jamar?
Say that again, Phyllis, you're breaking up.
If we could get a PowerPoint of everything today, so that when we meet with Jamar, we won't keep him long.
Yeah, I can work with that. I have this PowerPoint that Leah had. So
okay.
Yes, I have that available. So I'll have that with me.
Okay then.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Phyllis. All right. Are there any other questions before we close out? I know we're about
one in the chat.
Say it again. Oh, we got one in the chat.
You may have already shown it and I missed it. I thought we could see our team members, like weekly totals or daily as the captain. We have access to that.
informative team. Michelle wanted to know, do they have access to see their team member steps?
There's a leaderboard that is a more simple view of how active people are in general. What we're going to do is we're creating a dashboard that makes it step counting easy to compare. That's not really built into what we see right now. We're going to make that a custom view. So right now, what we'll do is, speaking of club challenges, and I chatted in the chat feed about it. I forgot. I create those for the entire VHB, and you have to get permission from the county team if they want that challenge to be there. One of the challenges that the county team and we need to just create is a step challenge. What that means is when you look at somebody's profile, if they are in a challenge, you can see how they are progressing towards a certain step challenge goal. Like right now, there's like a 1,000 calorie challenge, just a generic one. We need to work together, say Jamar and particularly, and we can come up with a challenge of a number of steps that we want for this week. And then you will be able to see, at least by peeking in on your members' profiles, if you go to that view where you can see quote unquote clients, regular villagers who have the tag of your church name associated with them, you can just see that list, click on their profile, and then see where they are in that challenge. And you know, it's a couple of steps, but again, we're creating a dashboard where you can just see, you know, who's doing what for each church by steps, not by calories. Okay.
So just to let you know, that's forthcoming as we proceed moving forward this week. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Now, what you can do is just look at calories. I mean, if somebody's not moving, and the way fit points work is it's a combination of how many calories you're burning and how much you're in the system. If you're in there daily, if you're also posting things, you're replying to people, liking things, you put a picture on your profile. Those add beyond calories to become fitness points. So right now, what you can do is look at your folks' the calorie burn, which is how many calories have they burned since they kind of signed up for the app. And that's a good estimate of are people really doing anything or not, besides just logging in for people like Michelle who are curious. In the meantime, again, we're making this pilot is again helping me know what more can we do. And we want this to be the perfect app for our community's needs. So that graphic is going to be part of what we're developing over the next month.
James, this is Chelsea. I wanted to tell you the way I look at my specific team in the VHB 1000 burn. I follow them, and so when I go to the VHB 1000 burn where it says in progress, if you touch in progress, you can change it to members that I follow, and you can see their progress in one screen.
That's a perfect tip.
Yes, thank you, Chelsea.
Let's make sure we capture that for the knowledge base. Leah.
And my team members are also able to just see our church instead of seeing everybody. If they just want to see how we're doing and measuring up against each other, that's where they go and do the same thing. They just change from in progress to people I follow in progress, or either change it to people I follow completed.
That's a great suggestion. So what I take away from that is, one, a takeaway from tonight, because I know we're at the end, is for you as coaches, as team with the system we'll call coaches, but team captains. Now you should all be able to see who's not activated yet, and to kind of do just one-on-one calls to just make sure people are, have their concerns addressed, or they don't fall by the wayside, right? And then the second part is to encourage your team, once they're active, to go friend or follow their other church. You can look at other people, but follow your church members. And that makes it much easier, it sounds like, as we create challenges across the Village Heartbeat Network for you to see how you guys are doing. So that has been, thank you all for that feedback. I'll give it to Jamar or Keith at this point.
Yes, thank you. I do, Claudia, I want to be respectful. I know she's got her hand up. I don't know if that was an accident. Before we close out, we'll make that the final question. If you have one, Claudia.
I came in late because I just got this email and I just want to know if I can attend tomorrow. That's my only question.
Yes, you're more than welcome to attend for tomorrow's also.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. All right. As we all know, this has been fruitful, been helpful. I'm glad we were able to get this going, get some really good feedback and understanding. Hopefully, we were able to provide some answers to questions that you guys have been burning inside your heads. For those, again, like we said in the beginning, we were recording this, so we'll definitely see about making this available. But we'll also be back here tomorrow if you have any other burning questions, or for other individuals who couldn't make it today. I want to thank Informative Technologies team for their time, utilizing that time and being very poignant and very concise and very clear with the answers to be able to provide for you all. Keith, I'll pivot over to you if you have any questions or anything, comments before we close out.
No, I don't have anything. I think it was a good session. I've heard some great ideas and suggestions. And everything that was said, we're definitely recording and we're going to take back and see how we can implement those into the literature. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and close out. We want to thank you all. You all have a good evening. It's still light outside, so if you're still trying to get your steps in, feel free to do so. Be safe, though.
Thank you all.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Goodbye.